Hey everybody, I'm Akilini Molly, and I'm here to give you some truths today. So your art is suffering. We're all suffering. We live in a time, we're always in a damn time. Goddamn. I feel like since I was a kid, we've been in a time, and even as I'm relearning history, because I wasn't taught my own history or Americans' history in school correctly growing up, as I'm learning things, I'm realizing that we have always been in a time, and it's only been transformed or, put in a different font, institutionalized. But we've always been in a time where Black and brown people have been treated poorly, and how this society operates in a caste system, how we as a human race have literally put other human people that shit and pee in the same toilet above us because of a status symbol such as owning a home or being a millionaire or being a professional athlete. We are just so fucked as a society. Why are we surprised that what's happening now is happening? As creatives, I encourage you to take that surprise and use it. As Nina Simone said, your art must reflect the times. It has to reflect the times. How is it not reflecting the times? As an artist, and someone who is relearning my own history, I like to consider myself as a historian. I like to consider all artists as historians. Whether or not you're on the right side of history, just the mere fact that you are taking your experience and your perspective and sharing it with the world, that's something that'll live on beyond your existence here on this earth. And people are gonna look back on that and dissect it the same way that I dissected what was happening in the 60s and what the artists were doing then. When you look at artists like Nina Simone and Lorraine Hansberry and James Baldwin and political figures, I would like to say leaders such as Malcolm X, they were all of that time period. And a lot of them were friends. A lot of them were creatives and innovators and deep thinkers, and they all used their gifts and talents to record history, share history, move the needle in history, push it to be greater, prevent it from repeating itself in one way or another. But that takes time, and that takes generations. And we may not be alive to see the change that we are creating today, but that's the point. That's literally the point. I mean, and if you believe in coming back on this earth as a damn tree or a flower, power to you. You're still responsible for what you do on this earth while you're here. And while the world is madness, and while there's a gajillion genocides happening and have been happening, and ethnic cleansing and censoring, I don't even know if this video will get 1 or 2, I'm at a point where I boycott Target, but I shop somewhere else and I'm like, God, I could be low-key still supporting the whole chain. Just consuming as a whole nowadays just feels wrong. Posting feels wrong. Everything feels wrong. And I think that is the trick of the enemy. I think that's a trick of all the evildoers. They want you to be silent. They don't want you to create right now because it seems contradictory to what's happening in this world. Like, why should I create? Why should I say anything? That's not going to do anything. They want you to not have a voice because they know how powerful it is. So I challenge you to use your voice, use your gifts and your creativity and your talents to tell the story. We as artists are historians. We record, we tell history while it's happening and after. That interpretation of history while we're living in it will be reinterpreted in the future while it's being repeated, and other artists want to gain a sense of understanding. We're journalists. We report that shit. These news stations aren't doing it. You know what they're required to do? Entertain. They don't have to tell factual information. They don't have to. So why would they? I'd argue that we're scientists and doctors and we heal through exposing our truths. There's a reason why people say, oh, she's preaching to the choir, where there would be no choir if nobody fucking sang. Ooh, excuse my language. Truth and art is the medicine that we need to open our minds. And it's like the best medicine. It's the good medicine. Like, yes, medicine for the body and soul, but also that in a literal sense. Because I know that we've figuratized and made woo what it means for music to be medicine, but it quite literally is medicine. So use it. The evildoers want us to not use our gifts and our talents. This one's specifically for Black people. I'm talking to you because we are the most disrespected. We have always been seen as subhuman in every culture, race, every part of the world. You look at the people that are being represented and it's like they don't even want to represent the darker skinned people in those countries. It's always been associated with something negative. Being dark is bad or evil or scary. It's always associated with something negative. So it's very easy to do that when it comes to skin color. Like, this is nothing new. I'm not saying anything new, but that all came from a belief. That is a belief. It's not a fact. Not everything dark is bad. I don't know why we're still choosing to believe that. Actually, I do know why. It's so deeply ingrained in the fabric of America. It's in America's DNA. It's automatically in our DNA as a society. And to like live and take up space in the society and say that you aren't participating in those biases would be a lie, because we all do. Even I do. I mean, especially Black people. It was designed to tear us apart as a people. Look at why we have these light skin, dark skin wars, hair texture wars. Okay. And I could get into all of that and how, you know, if your hair has a curl pattern, you're automatically deemed as good or better. If it doesn't, or it has a different texture that's not as fine. All of it has to do with, you know, your proximity to whiteness, making you more acceptable as a person of color. And in order to uncondition that deeply rooted belief, we have to create. We have to continue to create. As creatives, that's our only job, because the art that's being created today will help shape our beliefs of tomorrow. And if we choose to suppress our creation because we're depressed and yada, 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 and we let the evildoers take over, baby, we won't have anything left. So we need to reflect the time in our art, and we need to continue to radically create, push it out. Don't let them silence us. Don't let them censor us. Don't let them. Because how could your art mean nothing when the art of yesterday shaped your beliefs of today? Think about all of the artists and all of the poets and political leaders that have inspired you to create. They didn't have half of what you had now. And I know that we like to argue that like back in the day, our parents and grandparents could buy a house for a nickel, and nowadays we can't even afford rent with 6 roommates. And all of that is true. But there are also still advantages that we have that our parents and our grandparents did not have. There are platforms that we have that they did not have. And even them being in pursuit of that could kill them, could harm them, could ruin their entire lives. And that's not to say that that isn't true for us or anybody, because we're watching in real time our government trying to silence us and trying to censor our beliefs. And the best way to fight that is to resist it and to share your beliefs. As an artist, it's your job to reflect the times. Share what you believe. Share what's just and unjust. I hope that this reaches someone who's been feeling really conflicted, because I know that I feel tugged morally sometimes with the fact that I'm in pursuit of an industry that is so contradictory towards my beliefs. I feel that. Like sometimes I feel like walking away from it all and going off the grid and being entirely selfish. But then I think about like the legacy that I've created. I think about how I have a child and how I want him to exist in this world free, to create, to be, to exist, to become whoever, whatever. I can only do that by example. It's easy for us to point fingers, you know, behind a screen and to tell people how to use their platform and yada, 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 yada. Okay, if you're not going to be the one out protesting on the street, if you're not going to be the one saying what you believe and facing things head on, then use the tools that you do have as a creative. If you don't want to perform live because you're afraid of large crowds and you're afraid of listen, you don't have to tell me that. That's a huge fear of mine. It's the reason why I've been struggling with going to protests, is because I want to make it home. So how can I use my platform? It doesn't take a protest for me to be targeted. That's the thing. And that's the thing that a lot of Black people are talking about. We're tired. So how can we use our platform? Well, I'm telling you, as an artist, as a creative, you need to use your platform to reflect these times. This is the time to do it. It almost feels like a responsibility, and like I'm finding it a lot harder to relate to artists that don't take on that same belief and responsibility. It's so hard because it's like, believe what you want to believe, do what you want with the music, express yourself, But there comes a point in time where it's like you're watching the events unfold in real time in front of you, and you're so desensitized that you're not able to take that and express how that's affecting your nervous system. Because another thing that I won't do is cancel people for not using their platforms. I think now is the time to just try to encourage people, because it is scary to do. It's not easy. No one said it's supposed to be easy or that you're supposed to feel super motivated. But what I'm saying is that feeling that your nervous system, that feeling that you're getting, that's messing up your nervous system, trust that. When you scroll through these videos of seeing people being killed on camera, and I'm not going to say on a live because, and you're conflicted because the world has taught you to be so diplomatic about everything and even how you talk about it. When you see that, how does it make you feel? Where does that live in your body? And create from that place. Don't scroll past it. Don't ignore it, and see what comes of it. And you'd be surprised how many people you touch and inspire. That alone changes the world. That's what you can do. If you can't go out in the streets, that's what you can do. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope that resonated with someone. I hope you really will take that into consideration the next time you decide to put pen to paper. If you want to support me on Bandcamp, or you can head over to my website and see updates on all my new projects. I'm a recording artist. I write, I tell stories. I'm on this journey with you. We're on this journey together. No one is mad at you for how you express yourself, but express yourself. Just express how you're feeling about these times. I encourage you. I think that we're all being discouraged from doing that, and it's an unfortunate thing, but I don't think that it's too late to hop back on the train, to get back in gear. Like, snap back. Okay? I love you so much. Subscribe, like this video if you're a real one, and yeah, comment below if you have any encouraging words for creatives that feel a little blocked or stuck or conflicted about their beliefs towards the industry / what's happening in the world and all of that surrounding that. Comment below if you have any words of encouragement. Always appreciate it. This is like a couch conversation for me. Like, I feel like you guys are in my living room because I'm literally in my living room. So yeah, thanks so much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.